How is the Joe Mixon video playing into the run-up to this game between Auburn and Oklahoma? Is this something that Bob Stoops is going to have to maybe sit Mixon down even for this game, even though he already sat him for a year? Brent?
That's such a good question. And, in fact, I have an ongoing debate with one of my sons and who thinks that he should be sat down for the game and was abhorred by he was really affected when he saw it. And I, of course, I guess being a little bit older and respectful of Stoops, thought that, well, he was suspended for a year, and Bob had to have seen that video, even though it wasn't, turned loose to the public. It wasn't released to the public by the law enforcement authorities. There's no question it's troubling video. There's also no question that the woman in this case was the initial aggressor. Now, don't anybody misunderstand that. That should not allow, especially a world-class athlete, to throw a haymaker like he did. And the youngsters, I think, have to be taught that in cases like that, just kind of stick your hands out and hold the aggressor away and then turn and quickly walk away. But easier said than done. Mixon told the officers at the time that he thought he'd been hit by a dude. Whether or not her slap really was that effective, I have no way of knowing. In the case of Mike Krzyzewski with his suspension of Grayson the Tripper, and now Stoops having to deal with this with Mixon, I have such respect for these two people that I tend to fall back on whatever decision they have to make. Now, having said that, we will deal with the story one way or the other. At the game, he's a talent, and whether this affects his draft status, I would imagine that it does, because there has become such an issue about violence toward women in the National Football League since the Ray Rice video became a public record, and we haven't seen him show up in any other team. Rich, I guess I just say, it's going to be up to Coach Stoops. It sounded like yesterday when his words indicated to me that he's going to play him at the Sugar Bowl. But, stay tuned. You don't know what the alumni will come up with at Oklahoma. You don't know what the Board of Regents down there. So we'll just have to wait and see what the next week brings us.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.